Okay, hello everybody, good morning. My name is Brian. I don't know if you remember me, but as you guys know, I'm Brian Guzman. And today I'm going to be highlighting to you guys a topic that we all see every day and that we all deal with at one point in our lives, I believe. There's times in our lives where we do things that we don't want to do. We might have to, like this, we have to come to this 7 a.m. class. Why? Because there might be a requirement. You guys might want to go to a different school. You say you have a flu or something. You have to go to the doctors, and you see certain people in certain areas, and you notice, hey, that dude's kind of off, you know? And you'll see people in the hallways and stuff, and you'll see people that keep to themselves a lot, and they won't speak out. And these people, at first sight, you can just tell that something's off. An example, like school shooters, someone always has to say, that kid was weird, he looked weird, right? Well, today I'm going to be highlighting how people who make no noise can be very dangerous by Margot. And I believe that this quote speaks for itself. Speaks for itself because these people could be destructive. These people could be going through things in their life, and you do not know ever. Sometimes these are people who you may not know that are going through something. You know, maybe lost a significant other, or many things that happen in life that we have to deal with. And I want to prove to you guys that these people could be helped with, and we could, prevent people from being so kind of lonely, I guess you could say, and being so destructive because they are so lonely, by giving them a person to talk to, giving a friend. When I was younger, I was always the quiet one. When in class, you sit next to me, I might say a word or two, but I'm always kind of quiet, I always kind of sit there. And I always realized the other people that were quiet. So I got to the point where I said, you know what, this isn't cool, it isn't right. My mom always said, talk to the kids that nobody talks to. So, I gave it a shot. Started talking to people, and I started realizing, hey, some of these people have destructive minds. Some of these people actually do think differently, and some of these people really back themselves away from our society because we are not accepting of others. We do not go the extra length for others, and we do not want to approach other people with love, respect, care, or whatever it may be. We're leaving people that are maybe outcasts, you could say, be outcasts, and we're letting it happen in front of our eyes. Another thing that we could do to help these people is, show them some love. I know a lot of you out there may have a family member or friend that is pretty quiet, or has some kind of problem. But the thing is, this could be completely solved in a simple manner, and it's all there. The answer for this problem, those quiet people, is all there. And you need to realize that sometimes one little step, one little show of respect, positivity, and love can make a big difference. In conclusion, I'd like to say that I've done it myself. I've talked to people myself. I have been that person, and the positive outcomes are way better than the negatives. Thank you.
All right, Brian, you've got good detail in some of the material that you're doing, but you don't provide us with specific examples. They always remain a little abstract. You mentioned talking to some of the kids that seemed like they were outsiders or introverts, and this would be one of those places where you could tell us the name of somebody that you interact with and had lunch with, and the weird things that they said that maybe did disturb you and maybe surprised you, but on the other hand, by talking to them, there was a change or an understanding that came about. As it is, it sounds like it's a nice apocryphal story, but there's not much detail to it, and you wander around quite a bit on the subject. So organizationally, I think it's a little bit problematic. The introduction, you got a greeting and you were reminding us who you are. That's okay. The example, I think, is the thing that works better at in the introduction to get our attention. The transition to the topic is relatively clear. I appreciate the direction that you're going with this, although I think it's a little inconsistent at times, because it sometimes sounds like you're saying, yeah, there are these people that really are problematic, that they do have something wrong with them, and maybe it is potentially something that we should be worried about. The notion that we could head it off by interacting with them, I think, needs some documentation, needs some proof, and like I said, if you had a personal example that illustrated that, that would work better. The delivery issues, you project pretty well. There's fluidity in your voice. Your energy level's adequate. And I think you do a pretty good job with your face and your eyes, looking around and trying to keep us engaged that way. Your gestures, though, are a little overexpansive. It's like, I think it's not so much anxiety as uncertainty as to what it is you're supposed to be doing sometimes, and so you go for the big, you're waving your arms around, or you're doing something like that, and then you start the pacing again. I think you were a little more contained at the beginning, and then it started back and forth, and it's not purposeful, and then you stopped it, which I thought, okay, I think maybe he's conscious of the fact that he was doing that, and is making an effort to do that. So that was a good move on your part. But it's the body movement where all of your issues are coming out, all the negative things that you do. So you might want to practice, standing still, holding your arms down, limiting your gestures to an occasional one. You guys can always practice these things at home too. Do an impromptu speech at home. There's nothing wrong with taking 5 minutes in the morning and getting up and saying, you know what, I'm going to try this and see how it goes, and watch yourself in the mirror and see what you're doing. And I think you just have to be more conscious of what's going on, and I think people sometimes aren't aware of the things that happen. That's one of the reasons that I video you, so that you will become conscious of those things, so that you'll see what I'm seeing also. Because sometimes people say, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, until they look at the speech and say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing that. Okay, thank you.